I mean, I was saying earlier, a clever use of the wish could solve all of this. It doesn't seem like Kyobi's race thinks it through. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with, well, the final episode of this particular series of Madoka Magica. Of course, there's the OVA series, and then, Extra? Sorry, I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head. I've added it to the calendar. Obviously, if you're watching this in time with me, then you'll have seen the calendar and what the planned watch schedule possibly is. That said, though, we have a board, we have notes, and we have a comment. So I guess we'll start off with the comment, which is from Henry, from the Patreon, from the only thing I have left to guide me, which is, in this episode, Hamura said that Walpurgis is invisible to ordinary people. Where did you get the opposite impression? Well, the thing here is, the quote, unlike the witches you've seen so far, this one doesn't need to hide itself within a barrier, Akemi says. In the rewatch, I saw what you said about normal people not seeing it and attributing the destruction to natural disasters, but clearly my mind hooked into the first thing I read, that being the element of it not needing to hide. I don't really know why it would be invisible to normal people. Feels like the labyrinth thing was the way that witches usually hide, as normal people can wander into them and see the witch inside, as per Sayaka and Madoka seeing the witches as normal people. Sorry, I understand that the way I wrote that might make it sound... They didn't see the witches as normal people, they saw the witches as themselves being normal people. So, letting Akemi's second line slip from my head, it just made sense that a witch without a barrier would be visible. So, in answer to your question, where did I get the opposite impression? The order of operations of the things I was told. That said, we do again have a board. And with the board comes the board changelog. And the only thing here that I've actually changed is that I connected mom to Kazuko with a green line. And in fact, I didn't add this to the changelog. I've added the mom's actual name, now that we know her name. So, there's that. Otherwise, again, I came with notes, as I always do. I would ask, is it a great idea to taunt the time traveler? In regards to Kyobi's conversation with Akemi, but I guess at the end of the day, Akemi has been relatively unsuccessful in either harming Kyobi in the long term, nor stopping their plans. So there currently is little reason for Kyobi to be scared of any crackback. Not that Kyobi could be scared in the first place. So, if Kyobi wasn't lying, and this was all a gambit to create a power source for an alien civilization, then I gotta say, despite being at this for our entire history as a species, they chose to go with this magical girl witch thing and never explored alternative methods that could have performed greater. It's a real failure on their part, in my mind. They gave Akemi the power to time travel, so they set in motion the ability for Madoka to have become the greatest power source. Karmic destiny seems to have a greater payoff than the emotional cycles of young women. I'm not sure where Kyobi's theory plays out, though. My interpretation of all of this would be that each reversal of time Akemi does would be another world in and of itself. Many worlds interpretation, where every different choice creates another world where you didn't make the other choice, right? Granted, it's more about particles than anything else, as the movements of any single particle in the universe would create the same effect of many infinite infinities. But in the macro view, each of these other timelines Akemi has created should be their own thing, I would think. How does the thread of destiny tie this Madoka to the one that Akemi shot to the one that became a witch? It shouldn't. Just like in Kyobi's own musings about queens and saviors, it's about the ties in the here and now. The Madoka in the here and now isn't affected by any of that. To my read on what Kyobi is proposing, Akemi would be the superpowered magical girl with all the karmic destiny ties. As traveling through time, she's wrapped herself up in the lines of many different versions of the same people, time and again. Think of my concept board as an example. Take the board and then copy it 100 times, once for each time Akemi has gone back and tried again. 100 is just an example, no clue how many it actually is. But if you were to keep track of it on my board, the connective through line would be that all of the lines attached to Akemi. Akemi's line to each individual Madoka would still be there, but it would be 100 Madokas connecting to one Akemi. In that aspect, I feel like Kyobi is wrong. Or I just totally don't get that element of the show. You know, as bad as things turned out for a lot of the characters, at least nothing bad has happened to Tatsuya. That's the one thing I said I never wanted to happen, and despite all the opportunities I thought the show had to twist the knife and hit Madoka at home, the show went in a different direction, and I'm glad for it. Kyobi's example about feeling guilt works for an unknowable alien force, maybe, but ultimately it's more like handing a child a gun and feeling no remorse when they kill themselves or someone else. These are aliens handing powers that sometimes I have to question if they even themselves understand, given that they could give Akemi time travel and not really wrap their own heads around it. Anything that goes beyond reason will fail and fall into distortion. The old monkey's paw of wishes, like I talked about from the start. Also a good indicator that Kyobi always wants them to fail. I mean, beyond everything else we've been told about being harvested for energy and the like, in this, I'm specifically addressing the Kyobi Never Lies segment. These massive lies of omission that Kyobi does by never telling anyone the consequences and encouraging them to wish, despite them saying that to is against their own rules. So, conceivably, according to Kyobi, there could be a Kyobi out there with the rare mental disorder of emotion. Feels like you could tell a story around that. A Kyobi that feels something for all of this. I mean, doesn't even have to be a good feeling either. Could be a sadistic Kyobi, or one that laments over the suffering that they need to create. Maybe even one that seeks out sacrifices that would cause the least harm. I don't know. Just think it would be interesting. Since I'm all about just saying stupid shit over the important stuff, are familiars spawned from the Walpurgis? Are they actually just separate from the witch-human magical girl cycle? I guess, for that matter, is the Walpurgis a witch or just something other completely? Something of note, Kyobi, the liar, suggests Madoka walk out into a storm and a battlefield to see the fight for herself. Paints a picture almost exactly like she did for Akemi, where Madoka was tied up in the strings of fate, except now her this time. Most of all, though, that so long as she has hope, she can't be saved. Remember that Kyobi lied about Sayaka being savable. Remember that losing hope is the big step towards becoming a witch. Remember that Kyobi wants all the magical girls to become witches. Everything they say is towards making you make a wish and making a magical girl become a witch. And everything in that conversation reads that way too. My last note is just a visual observation. I honestly didn't realize that the Walpurgis was a girl upside down with gears under her skirt until the rewatch to take these notes. Either way, though, those are all of my thoughts about last episode. And heading into the final, I guess we're going to find out how this all plays out. The element that there is more material after this in OVA form, I guess, gives me hope that we're not going to rush to the end in an unintended way. That whatever we're going to get is going to be the very core of what the show meant to be. So, I guess let's just go ahead and hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
The thing is, we've seen this before, and she becomes a witch after. I mean, she legit broke her leg, though, so it's gonna have to be. I mean, I was saying earlier, a clever use of the wish could solve all of this. It doesn't seem like Kyobi's race thinks it through. Although I'd have to think a wish like, I wish none of this had ever happened would still blow up in their face. Make it good. With your... See, again, that's too bendable. With my own hands. I mean, you already did that when you created a Kemi. Okay, Kamina. Stop calling him by his name. So you're not preventing these people from getting sad or depressed that caused them to become a witch. They're gonna get sad and depressed, and then you're gonna prevent them from becoming a witch. Mamie? Yep. I mean, would it? It sounds more like it'll just be immortal and just doing the same thing forever. I guess this is the opening wasn't a lie ending.
じゃあ預かっていたもの返さないとね。はい、これ。
Oh, all the drawings of her outfit as a magical
あ
girl.
なたが希望を叶えるんじゃない。あなた自身が希望になるのよ。私たちすべての希望に。
So was that in her mind, or was that actually happening? Or is it the element that she's actually a god now and can talk to dead people? There's the blue sky from the opening lyrics. Is that the Walpurgis? Or is it just another witch? So in removing witches, she's also removing magical girls. Also, yes, I get it. It's the fair. The Walpurgis was fair oriented. I guess it's a good thing that the witches kept their body nearby. Because otherwise you would become nothing, right?
あなたたちの祈りを絶望で終わらせたりしない。
Seemed like she was dying.
あなたたちは誰も呪わない、たたらない。因果はすべて私が受け止める。だからお願い。
Yeah, I was about to say, Cleopatra and Joan of Arc. I was literally just remembering them. They don't have happy endings. They're just gonna die as people. Her gem already came off.
もういいの。もういいんだよ。もう誰も恨まなくていい。
Oh, is Akemi gonna have been the Walpurgis the entire time?
そんな姿に
Because of her time traveling element?
私が受け止めてあげるから。
That Akemi was fighting herself. Sorry, it's the element of the gear. I was seeing the gear and maybe thinking about Akemi's shield thing.
ここはマドカがもたらした新しい法則に基づいて宇宙が再編されているんだよ。
Does that mean Akemi's gonna go back to her original
時
timeline?
間を超える魔法の使い手だったね。じゃあ一緒に見届けようか。要マドカという存在の結末を。あれが彼女の祈りがもたらしたソウルジェムだ。そんな。その壮大すぎる
It's
祈
like
りを
a
叶えた
Final
タイタン
Fantasy title
マド
drop.
カが背負うことになる呪いの量がわかるかい？一つの宇宙を作り出すに等しい希望が遂げられた。それはすなわち一つの宇宙を終わらせるほどの絶望をもたらすことを意味する。
A very Sephiroth
当
of her.
然だよね。
Well, wasn't despair literally your power source? Literally, couldn't you just power yourselves off of that instead of letting it destroy a universe? Oh, was that the white mask thing from the ending credits?
私の願いは全ての魔女を消し去ること。本当にそれが叶ったんだとしたら、私だってもう絶望する必要なんてない。
Yeah, I guess, I mean, you're too powerful to get sad about anything. I say, people get sad about all sorts of stuff. I would also say that the power to create a universe and the power to destroy one could just be negated with each other.
終わりもなくなった。この世界に生きた証もその記憶ももうどこにも残されていない。君という存在は一つ上の領域にシフトしてただの概念になり果ててしまった。もう誰も君を認識できないし、君もまた誰にも干渉できない。
Oh, Mammy's whole thing.
君はこの宇宙の一員ではなくなった。
Or Mammy's whole speech thing.
これがマドカの望んだ結末だっていうの？こんな終わり方であの子は報われるの？冗談じゃないわ。これじゃ死ぬよりももっとひどい。
I don't know that it's worse than dying.
違うよ、小村ちゃん。今の私にはね、過去と未来のすべてが見えるの。かつてあったかもしれない宇宙も、いつかありえるかもしれない宇宙も、みんなマドカ。だからね、
If you've never seen the show Pantheon, highly recommend it right now
小村ちゃんが
for non-spoiler
私
reasons.
のために頑張ってくれたこと、何もかも何度も泣いて傷だらけになりながら、それでも私のためにずっと気づけなくてごめん、ごめんね。今の私になったから本当のあなたを知ることができた。私にはこんなにも大切な友達
Honestly, I'm just happy for this part. That all of Akemi's sacrifice wasn't for nothing, and then the person that she was trying to help
ありがとう。
knew and,
あなたは
found
私の
out.
最高の友達だったんだね。だからってあなたはこのまま帰る場所もなくなって大好きな人たちとも離れ離れになってこんな場所に一人ぼっちで永遠に取り残されるっていうの？
It's also very
一人
low-key.
じゃないよ。みんないつまでも私と一緒だよ。これからの私はね、いつでもどこにでもいるの。だから見えなくても聞こえなくても、私はホムラちゃんのそば
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really only sad for anybody that knew Madoka.
私はあなたを
Not really sad for Madoka herself.
マドカのこともう二度と感じ取ることさえできなくなっちゃうのに。諦めるのはまだ早いよ。ホムラちゃんはこんな場所までついてきてくれたんだもの。だから元の世界に戻っても、もしかしたら私のこと忘れずにいてくれるかも。
I mean, Akemi is the girl who leapt through time.
きっと大丈
If
夫。
anybody could.
信じようよ、マドカ。だって魔法少女はさ、夢と希望を叶えるんだから。きっとほんの少しなら本当の奇跡があるかもしれない。そうでしょ、マドカ。行かないで。ごめんね、私みんなを迎えに行かないと。いつかまたもう一度ホムラちゃんと
Yeah, I got a lot of shit to do.
それまではほんのちょっとだけお別れだね。
Does this mean Akemi loses her power too? Because conceivably, if she still has her power, she could just rewind to see Madoka again. But then the conceit might be that she doesn't remember Madoka to do that.
25番上条京介です。課題曲はアベマリア。
Sayaka better be in the fucking audience. That's all I gotta say. Because I'm assuming this is him post-recovery.
なんか手間かけさせちゃったね。こっちこそごめん。
Oh no, this is just the world where she already died.
何も
もかもなかったことにするしかなくて、そしたらこの未来も消えてなくなっちゃうの。でもそれは
Oh, he goes to accident version of himself.
さやかちゃんが祈ったことも、そのために頑張ってきたこともとっても大切で、絶対無意味じゃなかったと思うの。だから
これでいいよ。そうだよ。私はただもう一度
I'm not surprised that she only shows up here to talk to Madoka.
あのバイオリンを
You know, and not with the girl who seemed like she fell in love with her and sacrificed her life to try and bring her back.
十分だよ。もう何の後悔もない。まあそりゃちょっぴり悔しいけどさ、瞳じゃ仕方ないや。京介にはもったいないくらいいい子だし、幸せになってくれるよね。
I may have spoken over it, but it seemed like Madoka is trying to keep this world existing
じゃあ行こっか。
so that he doesn't go back to his accident form, so that Sayaka's wish isn't for nothing. Not a fun, nice little time skip.
さやか。
さやかは？おい、さやかはどうした？
言ってしまったわ。返還の断りに導かれて。ミキさん、さっきの
Okay. That other timeline.
バカ野郎。惚れた男のためだからって自分が消えちまってどうするんだよ。バカ、やっと友達になれたのに。それが魔法少女の運命よ。この力を手に入れた時から分かっていたはずで
She's
しょ。
holding the bands, though.
希望を求めた因果がこの世に呪いをもたらす前に、私たちはああやって消え去るしかないのよ。
So this altered timeline, Mammy also gets to live, but Sayaka doesn't?
あけみさん、
I guess Mammy didn't become a witch, so doesn't fall into the purview. I've said 100 times before that I always find these stories to actually be the saddest. Again, like Bleach, Memories of Nobody. I hate when our main character vanishes and nobody remembers them.
そっくりだよ。
こら、ダメじゃないか、達也。女の人の髪を引っ張るのダメ。
すみません、大丈夫でしたか？
And go figure the cutest little boy on the fucking planet is the one that remembers.
まどかだね。
まああの子が一人遊びする時の見えないお友達ってやつ。
I feel like you could start a whole new show about what imaginary friends come from, are people who are wiped from
ま
time.
どかってさ、あなたも知ってるの？アニメか何かのキャラとか？
さあどうだったか、聞き覚えがあるようなないような。
そっか、私もどっかで達也と一緒に見たのかな。たまにね、すっごく懐かしい響きだなって思うことがあるんだよね。まどか。
そうですか。
I mean, it would have to be for her.
そのリ
It would have to be a name that she would have considered. Oh, if I have a daughter, I would name her Madoka,
ち
right?
ょっとびっくりしたくらい。
差し上げましょうか。
こんなおばさんには似合わないって。まあ娘とかいたらつけさせたかもしれないね。
See, that's what I'm talking about. Considerations she must have had already. Even if she doesn't remember her daughter specifically.
なるほどね。確かに君の話は一つの仮説としては成り立つね。
仮説じゃなくて本当のことよ。
だとしても証明しようがないよ。
Why would you tell Kyobi
君が言
that?
うように宇宙のルールが書き換えられてしまったのだとすれば、今の僕らにそれを確かめる手段なんてないわけだし、君だけがその記憶を持ち越しているのだと
It
して
feels
も
like if you told Kyobi that, Kyobi might then pursue a world where that might be true.
まあ確かに浄化しきれなくなったソウルジェムがなぜ消滅してしまうのか、その原理は僕たちにも解明できてない。その点、君の話にあった魔女の概念はなかなか興味深くはある。人間の感情エネルギーを収集する方法としては確かに魅力的だ。そんなうまい方法があるなら、僕たちインキュベーターの戦略ももっと違ったものになっただろう
I
ね。
mean, what's the plan now?
そうね。
That they get the energy off of magical girls getting sad and disappearing?
君が言う魔女のいた世界では、今僕らが戦っているような魔獣なんて存在しなかったんだろう。呪いを集める方法としてはよほど手っ取り早いじゃないか。
I feel like it's a fucking failure here then.
あなたたち
They have
の関係
wraiths now,
かなり軽
not witches.
やっぱり理解できないな、人間の価値観は。
I feel like the trick is just a change in terminology.
それで人の世の呪いが消え失せるわけではない。世界の歪みや形を変えて、今も闇の底から人々を狙っている。
See? They've changed terminology and created a new
今
thing.
夜はつくづく正気が濃いね。魔獣どもも次から次へと湧いてくる。いくら倒してもキリがない。
ぼやいたって仕方ないわ。
Because remember, Kyobi's a fucking liar. The wraiths of this version of reality have to come from somewhere.
悲しみと憎しみ
And I have no doubt that they fucking must come from people.
救いようのない世界だけれど、だとしてもここはかつてあの子が守ろうとした場所なんだ。それを覚えて、決して忘れたりしない。だから私は戦い続ける。
Again, knew it was gonna be the fucking opening song. What else could it have been, right? That was a pretty good, damn good show. Like, very confusing at the beginning, right? Because at the very beginning, I am just, like, lost for the art style, and then figuring out what's happening. The element that I never figured out, the witch language, is one thing, but I guess at the end of the day, I don't know what I would have learned from it. Because I don't feel like I didn't understand anything along the way. Still a very sad ending. Bittersweet. I guess bittersweet is the way to put it. Then again, we lost Madoka, a very pure and innocent girl, to essentially be forgotten. And I said before, being forgotten is essentially the saddest way these things end. For some reason, the Memories of Nobody, the Bleach movie, is the one that always comes to my mind, because I think it's probably the one I bring up to, like, lessons a lot when we talk about our duo reaction stuff. But it's happened in a lot of other shows before. And, movies and OVAs. These aren't coming to me. The element of going through an entire story, getting emotionally attached to a person, the interconnectivity that they have with other characters, to then just be forgotten. Don't forget, always somewhere, someone is fighting for you. Sorry, the sadness hit me as I was trying to talk. Very confusing that her wings have the background of a labyrinth. Yeah. Sorry, just realizing what I said before about the witch language not making any sense to me, and I didn't feel like I missed anything, but that, obviously, that right there, no idea what that said. But again, the element of the fact that her wings had a labyrinth effect to it, and there at the very end, witch language, even though witches don't exist anymore, and the whole thing kind of looking like a witch's point of view, very confusing. And now race exists. Like I said, the element that I feel like the monkey's paw exists in every wish. And here it feels like the monkey's paw is that, sure, Madoka got rid of all the witches, and now when you're a magical girl who inevitably gets sad because that's a process that the Kyobi's race goes through, is you just vanish. You just vanish, and then a wraith shows up, I guess. I don't know. But it feels like the same thing is going through. So that maybe her whole sacrifice was for nothing? I guess maybe not for nothing. She did get to show some of her dead friends a new world beyond them, so it was something. The element here is that, obviously, when I come back for whatever I'm doing next, be it the side story stuff or the OVAs, I'm going to be coming back with notes about this last episode. So I'm just a bit lost in the sauce on this one now. I think it would be disingenuous to come at this with what I'm feeling right now, only because I'm just, again, lost in the moment, and very sad. It's very sad, very melancholic, bittersweet, and also happy at the same time. But I feel like I need time to digest these thoughts, to put them into a more cohesive, I can't think straight. It's a very good show. It's a really good show. I think I even was saying in a recent recording that I did with lessons, it is essential anime to me now. Like, if I had to make a list of what I think an anime viewer needs to watch, like we used to do back in like the 90s, you're not a real anime fan unless you watch these shows. Shows that I think anyone trying to get into the genre and really get into it deep should watch. Made in Abyss, I would say was another required anime. Well, Madoka Magica is now on that list. It is worth the shot. I am glad that this won the Magical Girl poll, essentially. Even though that poll wasn't designed to be a Magical Girl poll, it had multiple Magical Girl shows fighting against one another. This one, and I'm very glad it did. So thank you to everybody who voted to make this a winner. I'm very happy that we got to see it. That said, though, like I said, I think I'm really going to come back with the my thoughts written out next time. So for now, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. Once again, I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?